I had the affair a few months after our marriage. I believed he hated me for a forced marriage. My parents were very vocal about us getting married, to the point of making a scene at a Christmas dinner when we announced that we were moving in together. The next day, he proposed and was generally miserable due to the state of our life, which I mostly thought was fine. Sometimes fun. But no. He kept saying he hated his life, and I took that personally. I stopped attempting to look at the bright side of things and just allowed us to wallow in misery, even if things were looking up for us. I stopped believing that anything was good about us, and that we made a horrible mistake getting married. I found solace with a co-worker. The affair lasted a month, with the first half being emotional, and the last half turning physical. During the time, I was also habitually taking cocaine with another coworker. At first it was fun and games. Then it turned to a numbing agent for the issues I was having at home, and later for numbing my actions for cheating on my husband. At home, I lashed out at my husband. If he was miserable, well, so was I. I chucked all of the happy moments that I had held onto out the window and was angry at him 24/7, to a scary extent. Thinking back on it now, I'm frightened at how dark I became. I spent his money. I yelled and screamed at him about just how miserable I was. I wanted him to leave me because I was too chicken shit to do it myself. Finally, I sat him down and told him I was in love with someone else. I told him it was my co-worker and waited for his reply before I went on. Instead of the ire, he said he wanted to work it out, that he loved me and we could get through it. I was impressed and humbled that he still wanted me. I fell in love with my husband all over again in that moment, and all my actions became far too real to me. I made a choice at that moment that I'm still not sure was the best. I decided not to tell him about the fact that I slept with another man. Immediately after that conversation, I reinvented myself. I kicked the coke habit cold turkey. I cut off all contact with my co-workers. Later left my job and focused on making his home life as great as possible. These last 2 years have been the best for both of us. He's working his dream job. We're paying off debt quickly and saving a lot of money. Moved closer to the city to begin adventures. And we've had so many wonderful, truly wonderful moments. I initially decided to take this secret to the grave with me, never telling him, but instead dedicating my life to making our marriage work and becoming someone he could be proud of. About 3 months ago, I attempted suicide. Everyone was blindsided, but the repression of this secret was seeping out and my self-hatred was out of control. Even then, I refused to tell anyone, including my therapists, about the affair. I was put on medications, and after an especially positive, life-changing road trip that we took with friends, I knew I had been living on borrowed time. That no matter how happy he was telling me he was and how wonderful of a wife I was, I still robbed him of a choice of being happier without me. Last week, I told him that more had happened with my co-worker. I can't erase the expression he gave me from my mind, and I don't think it will ever leave. Reddit. I hurt him so badly. I never, ever wanted to hurt him so badly. I was a fool to ever think this day wouldn't come, and a fool to have ever strayed. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. His reaction was calm and controlled. After being silent for a while, he said he wanted to work it out, mostly over the fact that the last 2 years of our life were the best he's ever had, according to him, and that I had changed to a large degree from who I used to be. He wants to work it out, though not through couples therapy as I suggested, but by moving on with our current great life and not looking back. Essentially, he told me to keep doing what I've been doing, continuing with my therapy, continuing with school, and my weight loss plan, and we'd be fine. Along with the repression of this secret, a backlog of self-hatred, regret, and desperation had finally caught up with me. I was 51/50'd overnight last week by my psychiatrist, as he feared I would hurt myself. His mother and my family found out about the affair through this episode, all of whom agreed with my husband. I should move on from this. I'm happy every time I see my husband after he gets home from work, when he wakes up in the morning, and is complimenting the fact that there's no growing dark cloud over my head anymore. My eyes are brighter. My smile is bigger. He believes this is the beginning of a greater chapter in our life together. Everything is better than expected, so why, when I'm alone, do I go insane? I cry nonstop over the fact that I hurt him, that I deserve none of this, that I've already lost him and it's only a matter of time before he leaves me. I'm frightened of the fact that he stayed with me. I want to yell quite loudly for him to run away, far away, and quickly. I know if I don't get over these emotions, our relationship doesn't have a chance. I don't want to sabotage it anymore. Reddit, how do I move on? How do I begin forgiving myself? I left my husband almost exactly 1 year ago. I have been living in my own person upside down ever since. As of last month, I have been separated from my ex-husband for 1 year. My life has flipped upside down. I'm sad. Tonight, I'm lonely. I need to vent. Sorry if this becomes a jumbled mess. I'm having a rough night. I was with my husband for 12 years and we have 2 children together. Our daughter is 8. Our son is 5. I had been a stay-at-home mom since our daughter was born. My husband was in the military and became a flight mechanic afterwards. We had a house, a decent-sized savings account. We were best friends. We were comfortable. Somewhere along the lines communication stopped. Sex stopped. We became busy roommates that shared children. We tried marriage counseling. He never took it seriously. He slowly developed an opiate addiction, and before I knew it was taking upwards of 200 pills per month. He started to drink again. One night he came home from the grocery store and was obviously drunk. He had our then 4-year-old with him. I made the decision to leave that night, take the kids, and move in with my parents. We had a talk, decided we both were miserable, and the separation was mutual. When I moved back to my hometown, I met up with an old girlfriend that was going through a divorce as well. It was nice to not be lonely and to have another mom friend. She knew my husband too, so she understood my struggle. She helped me keep my chin up and stay busy. About 3 months into this new friendship and moving home, she stopped speaking to me entirely. She won't tell me why either. No texts, nothing. I was devastated. Shortly after, I found out she had been sleeping with my husband. They start dating and then everything starts to crumble. His behavior starts getting erratic and bizarre. He starts doing things totally out of character, showing up late to important events, lying, just turning into this horrible person that I don't know at all. He sells our old home. He moves in with her but tells us he is living with his friend until he finds a place. His behavior gets more bizarre. I start getting phone calls from people that see him in public because he looks and acts so different. During all of this, the kids are devastated that we have separated. They are with me most of the time and I am doing my absolute best to keep their life as happy and normal as possible. When our son turned 5 last June, I hosted the BBQ for him at my parents' home where we're living. Their father was late and acting strange again, running in and out to his car, long bathroom breaks, making excuses to run places. I decided to check his car and found little capsules. It was heroin. He was now a heroin addict. My life has been a hazy mess since then, trying to save the father of my children's life, keeping the kids from him until I knew he was clean, making excuse after excuse when the kids ask me where their dad is because I don't have the heart to tell them the exact truth. Lies and more lies. He lost his great job. We all lost our health insurance. Everything is gone. I am starting over at 33 with not a penny to my name. My kids are safe and with me though, and that is the most important thing. There are so many layers to this. He is apparently clean now and working at a BBQ place in town. He provides us with $300 a month in child support. I allow him to visit the kids twice a week at where we're living, but it is supervised. I won't allow him to take the kids anywhere. When he is here, I can't even look at him. My mom hangs out while I go upstairs and read or whatever I have to do so that I don't explode from the absolute seething anger I feel inside. Through all of this, I'm staying positive. I know that I am a good person. I know that everything I ever do and ever will continue to do is for the 2 most important people in this equation, our children. Things will get better for us and I take things one day at a time. Sometimes this loneliness is absolutely unbearable. And tonight is one of those nights, so I wanted to connect and share my story with anyone that might be having a night like this too. Thank you for reading.